Thank you for joining me on another video. This video is going to be about the FPV Controller 3 and manual mode. Just a short video to show you some initial steps that you have to do before being able to fly in a manual mode with the DJI Neo. So hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions, let me know. Power on and off, also used for binding. I'm not going to show and explain the steps on binding your controller. They're pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure you can figure that out. One crucial thing about flying in manual is this. Normally, when you get the controller, it's spring-loaded, like you see over here. When you push it up or down, it goes right back to the center. Same goes for this one, normally. But you can change it because you need to in manual. Since in manual, everything you do is automatically connected to the drone. So in normal mode, it's just in the middle, and that means the drone will hover. Not the same in manual. When you start, throttle all the way down, because you don't want it to fly away straight away. Actually, there's a security on it. It cannot do it anyway. So it will not start the engines if the throttle is up. So, and to loosen them, here on the back, you can just open it up, and there's two little screws that will, the F1 and the F2. You use the pin that's included in the package to loosen up the spring, and do it to your own liking. I mean, some people like it a little bit more stiff than others. Try it out, but make sure that when you put the throttle somewhere, it stays there, so it's not spring-loaded anymore. That's an important step on flying in manual. Go to settings, remote controller. Here you see the remote controller in use, and as you can see under here, custom mode, which is also shown on the picture. Custom mode, which says M on the controller, so custom mode in my mind should always be manual. DJI thinks otherwise. Anyway, set it here. Put it to manual. Also, like you can see here, on mode 2, it advises you to tighten the screws, and that way you can loosen the spring in your controller to make sure it doesn't jump back to center every time you change it. So do that like I also showed you. There we go. After that, I always fly in stick mode 2. Here in Gain and Expo, you can see my rates. Well, I'm still playing with them. And when you first go into these settings, you will find this green, as in turned on, M mode altitude limit, which means that the software does not allow you to make acrobatic moves like rolling or flipping. It will always keep you a little bit elevated. So it's like training wheels, which in my opinion are more bothersome than helpful, because they restrict your inputs. So I always turn them off as soon as I can. This button here, the pause button, if you press it once, it's an emergency brake, so good to know. Keep in mind the limitations of the Neo when it comes to the emergency brake. For instance, if you go and it looks like you're crashing in water, if you press the emergency brake, it will go to normal mode automatically, but Neo and reflective surfaces don't really like each other too much. So at times Neo can freak out because it's over water and then just fly away anyway, even though you're trying to save it using the emergency brake. This wheel over here is to adjust the camera angle on your Neo, or your drone actually. The same goes for this one. In the middle it's set to whatever you set it, and you can go up and down all the way with the click of a button. I think you can also set the angles with some drones, but I believe it's not possible with the Neo. So keep that in mind. To start recording, this button, start or stop, unless you have it set to automatically start as soon as you start the motors. This one, it says with the little M also, start stop. It's the button to use for starting your motors. Double tap it and your motors start. And that should be about it for flying in manual. So enjoy.